Shalom, giving all praise here. How about Shem Shai, Bashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm gonna entitle this video, Older Man Has a Dream of All Hell Breaking Loose. Anyway, this is a video that was put up by GMS Vegas 144 Reloaded, entitled They Shall Prophesy and Dream Dreams, Visions of Civil War in Babylon is Arising. So I urge you to watch this whole video. It's not even 15 minutes long. I haven't watched the whole video, but I watched up until this point. Actually, listened to the dream. So I listened to about maybe up to here. So I said, let me go ahead and let me land back off of the video, because it caught my attention. And this is the best way to do videos anyway. If you ain't got a topic in your head, or you got 12 topics, and you don't know which one to go into, your mind is not focused. You can always watch another individual's video, and if it catches your eye, you can build off the video, or pretty much, if whatever scriptures he's going to, I'll probably go, whatever scriptures I plan to go to, he probably went through those scriptures. Two main scriptures come to mind. I will do a word search on visions and dreams. Dreams can be visions, but sometimes dreams are just dreams. Sometimes they're actually visions. I have dreams all the time, but I know they're not visions. Something happens in the dream, it says this feels like a vision. So anyway, when you watch this video, if she's telling the truth, she has no reason to lie. And she could be a Jake. I get a Jake vibe off her, so I get a Jake vibe off of her grandfather. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let it play. Like I said, watch this whole video. This very short video, 14 minutes is nothing. So anyway, I'm going to watch from the beginning. But you know what? Let me go ahead and play it from the very beginning. This is when she starts speaking. At 1 minute 9 seconds in. And we're in that time. At this point, and I thought about a handful of precepts came to mind when she was going through the vision. And the first one that came to mind was 2nd Ezra chapter 15. More than 2nd Ezra chapter 16, but I thought about 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 2nd Ezra chapter 16. And the time of Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12, Matthew 24, wars and rumors of wars, Habakkuk 2, so many precepts come to mind. Of course, Joel 2, and also Acts 2 about dreams and visions. So let me go ahead and just play this from the beginning. Let me make this normal voice again. Listen up.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Arachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. As always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the tabernacle of David, the for elect, scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. And this is not going to be long. And before I even begin to play this clip, let me start off with a scripture. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2. And I'm going to start around the 28th verse. And it says, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And upon the servants and upon their handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit." So listen to this.
share a dream like this on here. So I typically wouldn't share a dream like this on here, mostly because it's not my dream. I didn't have this dream, but my grandfather had this dream. My grandma, who is now passed away, and her husband, my grandpa, are well known in our family to be prolific dreamers and oftentimes would have prophetic dreams. And my grandfather, who is in his early 80s, had a prophetic dream about America. My sister recently went to go visit him this past Sunday, and he was taking a nap. He was by himself, and it was just him and her. He woke up from his nap, and he looked over and he started sharing his dream immediately with my sister. He told her that he had a dream that he saw a lot of people fighting, and a lot of innocent people were being killed here in America.
And that's also the Isaiah, another precept to come to mind is Isaiah 4:1. 7 women shall take hold of one man, because a woman's going to need protection from a man.
Due to this fighting, my grandfather saw a war here on American soil, and he was really saddened by this dream. And then he began to tell her that he knew that he wasn't gonna be here long, not much longer. Either I'm gonna die of natural causes, or I'm gonna be killed. Mind you, my grandpa doesn't watch the news, so he doesn't know anything about the riots that are happening in LA. He doesn't know about the riots that are happening in other parts of this country. He doesn't know any of that. But my sister told me that when he told her that dream, she knew instantly that this was a prophetic dream. My sister felt that the Holy Spirit was on him when he was telling her this dream. So today is June 11th. I don't know what to make of this, but I pray that, we don't see civil unrest here in America. I pray that we don't see war on our own lands.
And I pray that we do, because we another thing, before the deliverance and destruction, the riots got to come, which is happening right now. We're in, I don't know if they went up there and told you that we're in the time of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30 verse 7.
And unfortunately, we've been that spoiled, and I do mean spoiled, that we think that these types of things can happen in other countries, third world countries, war-torn countries. I pray with all of my heart that the United States...
Yeah, that's Isaiah 47, which speaks about matter of fact, I'll go to it in the NLT. Give me a second here. Let me go right here. Okay, Isaiah 47. I'm going to read it in NLT, maybe amplified. Isaiah 47, basic foundational scripture. I'm sorry, I hit the King James. Well, I hit the King James first. Come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit in the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the child beings. You see what's happening out there in America, right? You got a lot of Edomites bitching and moaning, man. That had good jobs, excellent jobs. You got nurses. You had a nurse, 14,000 nurses from New York left the job or whatever. I don't know what's going. There's so much shit going on. Anyway, for thou, this country's being torn apart from the inside out. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind mill, cover the locks, make bare the legs, uncover the thigh, pass over the river. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I have taken vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. I missed something. Right, now, it's called, in the first verse it says, O virgin daughter of Babylon, meaning it's never been touched. So it doesn't think it's ever going to get touched. So let me go to the Amplified. Come down to sin and dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. A virgin daughter is a daughter that has not been touched sexually. So in the case of Babylon the Great, it hadn't been touched by a missile. It hasn't been hit. You know, missiles are in the shape of a penis. It's a phallic symbol. Sit on the ground in abject humiliation. Shameful spewings, right? So be upon your glory. There is no throne for you, O daughter of the Chaldees. For you will no longer be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone as a female slave does and grind meat. You got Edomites talking about, I got a husband, he works 2 jobs, I work 2 jobs, and we still can't make ends meet. So they might have to get another job, they might have to do a little side hustle, they might have to downgrade. Another problem with people in this country that have been living a certain lifestyle, you don't want to downgrade. You got to downgrade. You living in a fucking luxury apartment, you paying $3,000 a month. You might got to find something for $1,500, and that's it ain't all that, it's not that much different. But you used to a certain lifestyle. You don't want to downgrade. You feel like Jake's. What we've been feeling, that's how you Edomites are beginning to feel. It says, take the millstone as a female slave does and grind mill. Work your ass out. Because I remember my mother didn't have to work. My grandmother didn't work. They didn't have to work, period. They didn't have jobs. They didn't know what a fucking job was. The men worked. Anyway, it says, take the millstone, take millstones as a female slave does and grind mill. Remove your veil, strip off the skirt under the leg. Right, that's in certain like ancient like cowboy movies in the West, not ancient movies, but in the West, they walked over a stream. They had to take that underskirt off and pull their legs up so their dress won't get wet across the rivers at the command of your captives. But that goes into slavery because, okay, get over there. You're slaving now. Who you slaving for? You're slaving for other Edomites. Your nakedness will be uncovered. Your shame will be exposed. Look at this guy that's in office. The whole world sees this. And the whole world's getting ready militarily. I will take vengeance and I will spare no man. That's a little different. Our Redeemer will do all this. The Yahweh of hosts by Hashem Yahushai is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Okay, sit in silence and go into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for you will no longer be called the Queen of Kingdoms. Now it goes on to say, this flips to us. I was angry with my people. I profaned Judah. Profane means to be put out of the temple. There's certain things you can't do inside of a holy place. My inheritance and gave them into your hand, Babylon. You showed them no mercy. You made your yoke very heavy on the aged, even the old. So now when this man goes down, he's going down hard and he's going to stay down. And not one Edomite is going to make it. Not one nation is going to make it. They're not going to be in the position that we're in, that we're going to be in. I just wanted to share that.
Never experiences this. But if people continue the way that they're going, you very well might in this lifetime experience that here.
And unfortunately, you can pray for that all you want, but it's to no avail when it's prophecy. You know, the spoken word from the Heavenly Father, you know, it does not return unto him void, but it accomplishes what he pleases, and it prospers whereunto he sends it. So you can't pray off prophecy. All right, but yeah. So let me go from there and let me get this latest one. And a shout out to Arrows of Indignation. He posted this an hour ago. So listen to this. This is Jake. He had a dream.
Okay, good.
About a couple of months ago, I had a dream about America, and forewarning, it was pretty graphic. It was pretty gory. So if this is not your type of conversation, you can go ahead and log off. In this dream, I was standing inside of this massive warehouse, and it was so big, y'all. It felt endless, and inside there was a whole community under one roof in this warehouse. And it's as I was viewing, I was in the dream and I was viewing it in like.
See, and a lot of people that have these kind of dreams, like especially Jake, they don't realize that when they have these type of dreams, you know, it's prophetic. So when they start to go into detail and break down their dream, they're prophesying. You know, so, you know, Jake, not knowing any better, you know, he got that do-rag tight on his head. And we know the scriptures say, you know, when you pray or prophesy, if you're a man and you pray and you're prophesying, you know, you're to have your head uncovered. You know, he that cover his head dishonoreth his head. But, you know, I wouldn't expect Jake to know that because, you know, I don't think he knows about the truth, or maybe he do. I don't know. But, you know, just to throw that out there. But let's resume.
Third person view. And as I'm beginning to analyze the situation I'm in, I see in one section there were people graduating from school. They were in caps and gowns. They were receiving diplomas. Then I turned and looked at another section, and there was a full-on church service going on. There was shouting, praising, giving God the glory. Then I looked in another section, and there were kids that were playing. Families were just living life. It felt like hope. It felt like community.
So that's Luke 17. That's Luke 17. Let's go to that in the Amplified. We know what it says in the King James. That's why it says it's going to come as a thief in the night. In the night, it's not going to come as a thief in the night to us because we're watching every single day. We don't take days off with this in this thing. Ain't no such thing as taking days off. Okay. Luke L. 17. Okay. Second coming. This is okay. This is 22. I want to go to the Amplified, maybe even the NLT. 22nd verse. Okay, here we go. And he said to the disciples, the time will come when you will no longer see even one of these days of the Son of Man, and you will not see it. You will long to see. And that's us. They will say to you, look, the Messiah is there, or look, he is here. Do not go away to see him, and do not run after. So now, you're going. If you have somebody said the Messiah is here and he's at this place, and there's a pilgrimage, and you have people going to see the Messiah, and they might have an actor or whatever, or it might be a bugged out guy that thinks he's a Messiah, and people are going to follow him, blindly follow him. This is a scenario that I'm putting out there, because they don't know the scriptures. Because when the Messiah comes, he's coming back where everybody's going to see him. He's coming back on a gigantic ship. It says, for just like the lightning, when it flashes out of one part of the sky, gives light to the other part of the sky, so visible will the Son of Man be in his glory. And that's in Isaiah 52:13, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to stop their mouth when they see him. It says, but first he must suffer many things and be repudiated and rejected and considered unfit to be the Messiah by this unbelieving generation. Because that's another prophecy that took place in the past and is taking place now. When we tell you about you being Israelite, the major part of that is what? The Messiah. Because like Vocab says, so these guys teach that you can only be saved based on your ethnicity. Yes, because it's only, this message of the kingdom is only for the Israelites. So it is about ethnicity. 26. And just as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the time of the second coming of the Son of Man. The people were eating, they were drinking, they was at the bars, they was at restaurants, they were going to the movies, they were getting married, they were marrying, they were being given in marriage. The father presents the bride to the husband. So church service is going to be going on. They were indifferent of the Most High until the day that Noah went into the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. It was the same as it was in the days of Lot. People were eating. They were doing the Diddy. Diddy was probably back there orchestrating that shit. They were drinking. They were buying. They were selling. They were planting. They were out there in the field growing crops. They were building, carrying on business as usual without the regard of their sins. But on the very day that Lot left Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone, and the same thing going to happen in this society. And it's going to cover the whole United States like this snowstorm. It's going to be bigger than this snowstorm. It's going to come. That's covering like two-thirds of this country. That snowstorm. That's a major snowstorm from heaven, and destroy them all. It will be just the same on the day that the Son of Man is revealed, when he comes back, when the missiles come back. On that day, whosoever is on the top, the on the housetop with belongings. You don't worry about nothing. Be safe. Don't worry about your bank account, your this, your gold ring, whatever. You just got to be ready. When the Lord comes, you got to be ready. And it's also, this is twofold. Luke 17 is also referring to 70 AD. Because when the Romans come in, the armies come in, you got to run. You can't go back and get anything. You just got to run. And the Lord said to do that before they said, when you see the abomination that maketh desolate, spoken of by Daniel, then flee ye into the mountains. And they fled. They fled. Some of them fled to the north. Some of them fled into the interiors of Africa. They're going to find out. They're going to wait. We're going to find out that we are the Israelites. That's why we ain't slowing down. And all you men that know that you're Israelites, that claim that you're prophets, if you're really, truly a prophet, you'd be out there, you'd be constantly putting up videos every day. As the day approaches, you'd be constantly putting up videos, 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos, if the Spirit allows you. You constantly be on them streets. Now, for the last month, what was it, a month and a half ago, we missed back-to-back teaching because of the cold. Because it's like frigid. When it's real frigid, you know, like out there, the GMS in Chicago, if it's real frigid, bone-chilling cold, don't go out there. You don't have to go out there. You'll prove yourself. You know? You know, when it's seasonable cold, you can deal with it. You put on some gloves. Man, sometimes it's so cold out there that them gloves, it'll be like a little rain or something. Them gloves will get wet. Man, your hands start fucking freezing. Even with boots on, your toes be freezing. And every once in a while, it'll be so cold that you got to go in the car, put that heat on, and take about 5 minutes. You know, which we haven't did that yet in this year or last year. We haven't did that. Maybe last year I did it once. I don't know. I had to change my sneakers to my boots. So I said, while I was in there, let me put the heat on. But yeah, if it's bone chilling cold, you don't got to go out there, but you got to go out because that's part of the scriptures. So anyway, let me do this. It says thief in the night, right? 2 Peter says thief in the night because it's going to come upon them when they're not aware of it. We here, you guys that fell out the truth, you're going to become complacent and really not teach. You're going to be taking time off. You got a new girl. You want to go to Las Vegas. You want to go to Mexico, whatever. You want to do this. This is not the time to be going places, bro. You got to stay where you at, where you're familiar with. And we going to Las Vegas or we going to go down to Mexico for 2 weeks. There might be a fucking coup down there. And you get caught up in there. The governments change overnight. Anyway, let me come on back. So now did I put in the word dream? Oh, I put in the word visions. I put in the word visions. Okay, I'm sorry. I went too far. Too far. Okay, so visions is here 24 times in 24 verses. Are they showing you that the Most High was dealing with Jacob, and the powers spake unto Israel in the vision of the night, and said, Yaiquab, Yaiquab, and he said, here am I. That's what Eli told Samuel. When the Lord called his name, he kept going to Eli, the priest, saying, well, I keep hearing his name. And he said, that's the Lord talking to you, the power talking to you. So say, here I am. So he knew that. He said, here am I. Here am I. Let me go here a second. I'm just going to pull out some of these. Second Chronicles 9 verse 29. Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, first and last, are that are they not written in the book of Nathan the prophet? There's a book called Nathan, the book of Nathan. And then the prophecy of Ahijah the Shilonite. Now that was the one that tore the garments off of Jeroboam. And he said, you're going to take 10 pieces. So in a way, Jeroboam really wasn't doing anything wicked. He was just doing what the Spirit was in him to do. The part of the plan, part of the agenda, was to split the two nations and to have them come over here to the Americas. Part of the plan, if the Assyrians never took them down, they would have stayed here in Israel and in Palestine. So everything is prophetic. It says in the vision of Iddo the seer against Jeroboam the son of Nebat, which he was an Ephraimite. So the coming together, which Esau doesn't want, is Ephraim and Judah coming together. That brings the two sticks, and join them into one hand. And that's happening. So I strongly believe that they put the order out, the elite, and who tells this guy what to do, Nero what to do? The small hats. So you got these soothsayers and these guys that are in the Kabbalah and the not so much the Torah, but the what's the book? The Talmud, which we don't deal with that. And they have people on the left-hand side that consult with spirits, demons. And I guarantee you, part of the reason why he's focusing on the so-called Latin tribes is to keep them from coming together. Keep put that bond back together between the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel to become one nation. It says, let's see which Second Chronicles 26:5 says, and he sought the Most High in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of the Most High. And we really don't need visions, because the visions are in the book. All we got to do is read the book. Every once in a while, I'll get a vision, but I don't get a lot of visions. But now my woman used to give visions all the time, and certain brothers give visions, and certain people in YouTube that are not that might be even Christians, they getting visions too. Now you can have Edomites and other nations have visions too of the power. And as long as he sought Yahweh, the Most High made him prosper. Let me read that again. And he sought the Most High in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the vision of the Most High. And as long as he sought after Yahweh, the Most High made him prosper. Job 4 verse 13, and thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep falleth on a man. Now I'm thinking about Job, was that 33:15, is it? Let me just open this up. Now a thing was secretly brought to me, and mine ear received a little thereof. And thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep fall on man, fear came upon me, and trembling, which made all my bones to shake. Then the Spirit passed before my face, the hair of my flesh stood up. And that's when them spirits come in the room, you sleeping, you got them, you feel them spirits, you get a little nerve, then you focus and you say, oh, these are demons, let me rebuke these demons. Because you get scared because you know that there's spirits in your house. Just come on back. Job 7:14. There's a lot of things on Job, a lot of scriptures. It's a powerful book. Then thou scareth me with dreams, and terrifieth me with visions. Ezekiel 13:26, to wit, the prophets of Israel which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, which is the people before us a place, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, save the Lord. Because they don't see visions, they're lying. Ezekiel 40 verse 2, let's see what that says. In the visions of the Most High brought he me into the land of Palestine, and set me upon a high, very high mountain, by which was as the frame of the city on the south. And it was, third verse, and it was according to the appearance of the visions which I saw, even according to the vision that I saw when I came to destroy the city. And the visions were like the visions that I saw by the river Chebar. So they was in Babylon, and I fell upon my face. Now that building represents the Israelites. When you go to Revelation 21 and Revelation 22, the building and the gold that represents, as a picture of Israel in the form of a building. Even though we are going to have buildings, we're going to have dwellings. Let me do this one. Daniel 1 verse 17. As for these 4 children, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Meaning, when the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, had the dream in Daniel 2, he forgot the dream, and he went to his stargazers and his Chaldeans and his, these priests that was able to see into the spiritual realm. He said, I had a dream, tell me what the dream is. They said, well, give us a dream and we'll tell you what it means, because they'll make up shit. So he said, I forgot the dream. Tell me what I dreamt, and then break it down. The only one who was able to do that was Daniel. That's why it says, read this again. As for these 4 children, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill and all learning and wisdom. And Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. So you can have a dream, and then you can tell you, this is what you dreamt about, and this is what it means. Here again, Daniel 2 and 28. See, it's good to, this, you can be lazy. You put in a key word. That's a lesson right there. You put in a key word. But there is a Most High in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Now, what he meant by the latter days is right now. Right now. What is it? You can say, 80% of the dream, 90% of the dream is already fulfilled. What part of the dream are we in? I mentioned this before. I call it prophetic timeline. If you go to Daniel, you put prophetic timeline, Daniel 2. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and look at that. This is for you newer people. Prophetic timeline of Daniel chapter 2. There you go. Let me go to images. That's what you're going to see. Prophetic timeline of Daniel chapter 2. And Esau knows that's the Assyrian. Let me see. I want to break this thing up. It says Assyrians. Actually, it was Babylonians who the king was Assyrian. So that's let me open up another one. I'm sorry, get a clearer one. So that's the same one. Here we go. Prophecy revealed. The Daniel 2 statue explained. Babylon, Medo-Persian, Greece, Rome. fooled. They told the truth in this one. They said the divided Europe. That the NATO and the EU are divided now. The UK left the EU, and they're against the US because the US wants Greenland, which is part of Denmark, and they had troops from Switzerland, Denmark, Germany, I believe France. They came to back up. They said, we're ready to go to war with y'all to protect Greenland, because that's Article 5 of the NATO treaty. All you got to do is look that up. What's Article 5 of the NATO treaty? I went through that before. So, you know, like Alizar said, and we got on about it. You know, we were the first and only to get on about him. He said on a No Jumper, the brothers asked him, when is this going to happen? He said it could happen 1,000 years from now. As soon as I heard that, I jumped on his ass. And instead of him saying I was wrong, he was wrong, he pretty much told us to go F ourselves. So that show you that he didn't deal with rebuke. We rebuked him. And we rebuked him rightly. We said, look, brother, you went off. And you supposed to come back and say, you're right, brother, I did go off. I shouldn't have said that. So even Esau's telling you, divided Europe. Right this very minute, Europe, NATO, and the EU is divided. Mainly the NATO. They don't want to deal with the US anymore. So let me come on back. Come on back to the video. I'm sorry, this is not what I wanted. I was watching this too. Where the hell? Now I gotta find it. Okay, here we go. Oh, so this guy right here, some Jake, he doesn't know he probably watched certain videos, but he didn't know what's going on. A lot of these people don't know what's going on, even the ones that get divisions. And who breaks them down? We do.
Let me pause it real quick. And let me get a quick verse. Let's go to Ezekiel. Our people don't know what time that they in. Ezekiel 21:8. And it says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Shall we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. So, we're in that time, man. And the scriptures talk about, there's going to be clashes, there's going to be wars. There's going to be men invading one another with swords in their hands. All right, so we got to definitely be mindful of the times that we're in. Just look at the state of the people right now. It's just nothing but division. All throughout society, man, it's division. So we already know what comes next, especially during the midst of an economic and societal breakdown. So let's go back, finish this out.
Now, if you've been watching my videos, I said I was going to hit 100. And I told these silver people about the guy. He said, it might one day hit 100. I said, look, it's going to hit 100 inside of a month and a half, 2 months. So this has never been, silver has never been this expensive. And they said gold is hit 5,000. Give me a second. And I know exactly why it's happening too. Let me do this. want to go back to Dabu. And that was overnight, because I checked it last night. I believe it was 96 and change. Now, when I went over to the silver shop, the silver per ounce was $79. And I told him, I said, that shit gonna be 6 months, 100. A year from now, don't be surprised if it hit 100. I said, brother, it's gonna hit 100 inside of 2 months. I should go pay them a visit. Because I said, what I tell y'all? And these people that know silver and gold. Let me see. I want to get Dabu again. Here we go. Is this it? Okay, this is it, right? Huge moves. Gold breaks 5,000. That's unprecedented. That's unheard of. Silver crosses 100. Event arising will affect all precious metals. So when I get a chance, I'll watch this. I'll probably click on this at the end of this. You guys that fell off, y'all stuck out there. You stuck in the middle. Give me a second.
In this massive warehouse. Then, suddenly, outside, I heard chaos rising. Trucks pulled up. Big old trucks. In my dream, the best way I could see it, they were like F-150s. Big old trucks. Big trucks. And the moment everyone in the warehouse heard them outside pull up, it's like everyone knew what time it was. So I began to watch everyone in the warehouse stop doing what they were doing. The people who were graduating, receiving diplomas, stopped midway. The people who were in the church service stopped midway. The kids who were playing stopped midway. Everyone in the warehouse stopped whatever they were in the midst of doing, and they began to grab guns and weapons. It's like they were preparing for war. And we got outside, and when those trucks stopped, people got out. And this is where the dream was a bit strange to me. When these people got out of the trucks, most of them were white people. But here's the strange part. It wasn't just, a black versus white thing, because most of the people in the warehouse were black. So in my head, I'm thinking this is going to be a race war, black against white. But no, the strange thing is some of them, once we got outside and got in the field outside of the warehouse, some of them switched sides. Like some of the people that were in the warehouse switched sides and started fighting alongside the people who came in the trucks, and vice versa.
That's a class war. That's Second Ezra 15 and 16. You can start from the 15th verse. They don't see it as a so-called black and white issue or a red and blue issue, but it's an elite issue.
The people who came in the trucks switched sides and started fighting along with the people who came out of the warehouse. And what broke me in this dream was I was seeing women and children getting killed. It was black against black. It was white against white. It was black against white. And it was white against black. It was basically community against community. And in the midst of all this blood being shed, these babies getting offed, these women getting offed, these men getting offed, communities of people, human beings. I looked up, and in the midst of while I was looking up, we was in a field, and it was full of sheds, and the women and the children were trying to hide in these sheds for safety. I saw people literally go to the sheds, open the sheds door, And yeah, awful. It was horrible. It was a very graphic dream, and it disturbed me really bad.
The ICE, they can now go into people's houses, knock on the door. You don't open the door, they can bust the door down, and they can see if you got any hiding any illegals. Now, the news is supposed to say, well, that's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. I believe that they threw the Constitution out. There's no, because they would have been called up on it. You can sue them. You can't sue them. So if the Constitution is thrown out, there has to be a certain law in place, and that's martial law. So this is just martial law. It's violating your rights because you have no rights. How can they violate your rights if you have none? Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, so forth. First Amendment, you talk, they can bust your head because you're talking because you don't have a First Amendment right. You got a gun, they'll shoot you because you don't have a Second Amendment right. So either they threw the Constitution out and forgot to tell y'all, oh, we forgot to tell you that we don't deal with the Constitution. This is military law, martial law. And you got millions upon millions of so-called U.S. men, I'll call them, that are forming military. So they're going to see it. They're going to see, well, wait a minute, this is not right. That's why they demonize military too. They want to take their guns away because they're not mentally, they're not right. So it's going to get messy, but the Most High, as it says in 2 Ezra 16, around about the 77, somewhere below the 70th verse, it said the most 74th verse around there, it says the Most High will guide you. Also in Isaiah 65, it said we're going to eat and we're going to laugh. We're going to laugh for joy. We're going to be fed. Especially when that, and the chip has to come. We keep throwing that in there. The chip has to come. And all in the midst of that. Don't be surprised if 6 months from now or the end of the year they push that chip. I believe they're going to start at least speaking about it. Well, before that, you got the CBDC, everything going digital. Insane. Silver is now $1. I'm sorry. Silver is now $10. Give me a second. Not 10. What am I saying? $10. Silver is now $101. Silver is now $101.
And within the midst of being in this field full of sheds, there was this one big shed that was bigger than all the other ones. And it stood out. And hanging on it was a giant American flag. And then that's when I woke up from the dream. And I couldn't help but wonder, was this just a dream that I was just having, or was this a warning? Because what...
And see, Jake is close to they aware, they believe in the power, hide themselves, but they don't know, none of these guys know the prophecies. These Christians are not going to know what to do because they don't know the prophecies. These scholars among the Christian community, they don't understand prophecy, so they don't know. They're not going to know what to do. I don't believe any of them scholars say the mark of the beast is a microchip. I don't believe any of them. Some of these rogue Christian, people, and mainly like the Bible Belt. So we've been saying this since we got on YouTube, and back when we got on YouTube, we saying things that didn't happen. Oh, that shit ain't gonna happen, and now it's actually happening.
One of the key things I recognize out of the dream is that it wasn't just a black versus white. It was Americans versus Americans. People who are
a house divided against itself cannot stand.
Supposed to be a part of one community. But yet we were fighting each other. We were killing each other. We were doing horrible, awful things to one another. and blood was being shed. And I looked up and I saw the American flag. I don't believe that I had that dream by accident. I believe that was symbolic to what we may see going on here in this country.
He's saying that he believes. He sounds like a churchgoer. I believe this and I believe. Well, if you read the Bible, you would say you know this is going to happen, and this is not a dream. It's an actual vision, because it's in this, and you would pull out precept, but you don't know. Christians come short when it comes to the Bible, period. But they really come short when it comes to them prophecies. They clueless when it comes to them prophecies.
There's a lot of division, whether it's racial, whether it's political. There's division.
And basically what Jake saw was prophecy. All right, he clearly had a vision. So let's go from there. And let's get the words of Yahushua. Matter of fact, let me go to the one in Mark. Mark 3 and 24 in the NLT. And it says, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. See? Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let him go.
And if Satan is divided and fights against himself, how can he stand? He will never survive. So this country, this kingdom, which was built upon bloodshed and violence, is exactly how it's going to go out, with bloodshed and with.
Okay, so that was part 1. So I guess you gotta wait for the part 2. Anyway, let me do this, and I'll get ready to close it, and I will be back. I'll be back. Let me see what's going on over here, because it's supposed to be snowing over there. So let me see what's going on, unless they're indoors.
Right, Old Testament written into the New Testament in 23. The fact that we have this book in English format, and if I understand it,
out there, so it was supposed to start snowing out there. Let me go ahead and check this. Okay, there was another one. I want to check this, but I want to go to Dabu. Let me see. Yeah, there's an ice storm coming. Give me a second. Dabu, where you at? This the Rothschilds want to bring a birthright of digital slavery. Yeah, that's what Nick Rockefeller told Aaron Russo back in 1996.
This is Dabu 7 here on this January 23rd, 20.
Now, just so you know, I'll take his word for it. But actually, I went and checked it. It's $101. 3 weeks ago, I would say, I went to
26. In this day, going down in history as being the day that gold crosses $5,000 and silver crosses $100. Same time. This is what some are dubbing the event horizon. This is special in a sense that it's happening at the exact same time, and that it's hitting these round numbers. This has a psychological type of effect that creates a bit of a FOMO, if you will, and it can have an effect where these things shoot up like 5 runs up to 51 rather quick, or 100 here runs to at least like 110 or so real quick. I think silver's already at like 102. So 110 is not far off for silver. The new benchmarks on this would be 25K gold, and we're aiming at $1,000 silver. We have been doing this here for a decade, since about $12 per ounce on silver. And now, after we finally got to this benchmark of $100 silver, of which some thought we were never going to get to, some windows open up here. Now, what's going to happen is one of two things. This is going to take off parabolic off the top, tied in with world events, which would largely be economic, things surrounding Trump and his announcements, and war, especially war. If big war breaks loose, which is bound to happen here at some point, these metals are going to run even higher. And you wonder why they're where they're at now? It's because it's been nonstop war or threats of war, rumors of war. And this is driving the precious metals. Other markets are dumping out because they're not solid. It shows what the two true safe haven hedges are here in a time of crisis. We have China shattering records. Just the charts are through the roof. Everyone is gobbling up as much gold and silver as they possibly can right now.
Yeah, China's holding back silver too. I don't know about gold, but they're holding back silver. That's going to draw the prices up. And, you know, we're talking supply and demand.
Right now, and the banks are in a bad position because they're short. They're short a ton of ounces. The paper market's going to go. And when it goes, the price has to catch up with the rest of the world, which has been trading well above $100 in terms of the silver here. So gold is the driver. Silver got a lot of catching up to do. And at here where it sits, if you were to look at an even ratio, they say silver should be already at around $140 right now, compared to the $5,000 per a couple of the guys out there that run these numbers. But silver's got a lot of moves to make. Copper as well. Any of these metals you can get your hands on, get in on the dip, and if it doesn't go parabolic, the only other thing it can do is pull back. And we welcome that because that's going to be a chance for people to get in potentially here within the next few months. If there's any big pullback, you have to take advantage of that moment because you just don't know what's going to happen here. People that were waiting for pullbacks at 50 and 60 and 70 and 80, they never really got it. We just cracked 100. So average yourself in, and good luck out there. The next benchmark, like I said, 25K on gold, 1,000 on silver. I will continue to update, and follow me on X as well. Live updates getting kicked out there.
It should be, if this is 5,000, which it is, gold right now should be 2,500. Your gold silver ratio. If gold, which it is, 5,000 an ounce, unbelievable. I remember when gold was $190 to $210. I didn't say that. I said 100, $190 to $210. That was back in like 95, 96, 96, 97. Silver should be $250 right now. If gold is actual 250,000. I mean $250. So there's a lot more room. Anyway, let's go back over here. Okay, let's listen to a little bit
of the Lord and the angels.
So
we're waiting for the Lamb to come, and his wife has made herself ready. We are his wife. We are ready. I'm ready today. See. As always, first I want to give all the praises and the glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and to his only begotten Son, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you. and Salawam to the hopeful elect, brothers and sisters of the house of Israel that are scattered to the four corners of the world. The Bible says, many are called, few are chosen. The chosen are the elect of the children of Israel. The Bible refers to them as the remnant, the eklektos. All right? As the Lord says, my elect. It's about the Lord's elect, which are scattered amongst the nations, and we'll go back to the 12 tribes of Israel, the true Hebrew Israelites. So, understanding the change that will bring the mark of the beast. That's today's title. Understanding the change that will bring the mark of the beast. So, let's, without further ado, let's just hit play. And, hold on. Yeah.
Are you ready for a new world order?
The world has changed much since that last visit. And I believe...
This is fair use. Let me go ahead and close this down. This is fair use, fair use, fair use. Not making any money on this. Let's go.
And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Well,
New World Order, they're all on the same page. They're all given the script.
the new world order. What did you mean by that? What is the new world order?
Well, it's a great question, Brian, because I think the world is still determining what that order is going to be. And let's be clear what we're talking about first and foremost for the new world order.
New World Order. Part of the New World Order, a major part, is the chip, the microchip. Y'all better wake up. General Yohana, wake up. Bishop Nathaniel, wake up. Wi-Fi, wake up. Whoever else, wake the hell up. GM admitted GMS was right. GMS are the true prophets of the Most High. And I say that humbly.
Order.
The new world order.
These times that we're in are changing very rapidly. The world is moving towards change, and the people at the top are not hiding that we're moving to a new world order. Trump is aggressive.
And now, according to Genesis, now they're the TCD, whatever ministries, they say Edomites can make it if they get right. So if Trump started calling on it, said Jesus black and Hebrew Israelites this, and he ain't making it. That dude ain't. The eagle ain't. The eagle is not going to land.
Aggressively taking on this role as a major change agent. Whenever it needs to be pushed or disrupted before the world moves into this new world order, Trump has taken on the responsibility of being the change agent. He is the scapegoat, not according to the ways of the Torah, but
and that's exactly what he is. He's the front guy. He's the front guy.
According to Satanism. He is changing the world, and nothing seems to be off limits. And for most people not asleep, it should be easy to see that there is an agenda, and we are being pushed very dramatically and fast right into it.
An agenda is not set by one man. It's set by a handful of men. The super elite, the elite bankers, the illuminated ones.
In my video last week, as I discussed...
What is that agenda? They are changing the internet, understanding the change that will bring in the mark of the beast. That's what that new agenda is, all right? They are changing the internet, understanding that change that will bring in the mark of the beast. So let's just play.
Let me just finish up with Web3 and tie it all together. The key to Web3 is having a wallet. You need a wallet in order for you to use the dApps. MetaMask and Coinbase wallet, this is different from a Coinbase account on a centralized exchange. MetaMask and Coinbase wallet, these are two popular wallets. Wallets allow you to carry your cryptocurrency around. In our current Web 2.0, you only need a browser and apps. But with Web 3, you need the web, which will be more interactive than a simple browser. This is where the metaverse comes in. You have these VR headsets or the other glasses like Meta is using, and Google, I think they have.
And the word forehead in Revelation 13, when it says right hand of the forehead, the word there is matapan. Matapan, meta.
Have the VR headset. They're bringing virtual reality in with a lot of these things. And this will help you be in the internet. When you walk around, when you live in this world, you will be in the internet at the same time as you live out your daily life. And then you also need a wallet.
That's why they call it IoT, right? The Internet of All Things. You will be in the internet.
Yeah, IoT. Yeah, the Internet of Things. The IOE is like talking about that, but the IoT, Internet of Things, and then ultimately you got the Internet, the IOE, the Internet of Everything, which includes biometric chips. And I've been doing the event. I'm gonna stick to this. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Go here. Okay, I think I freaking lost it. Let me come back. Where is it? I'll find it again. I took a picture of it anyway. Come on now.
Man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras, ask thou not. I answered then and said unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
I can't find it. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, here it is. I'm going crazy here. Okay, what the elder was just showing you. And I'm going to try to put this up as much as I can for any opening. Can the Internet of Everything, meaning microchips in the body? Yes, the Internet of Everything, IOE, as opposed to IoT can include microchips implanted in the human body, in particular the forehead or the hand, right hand, left hand. So GMS was right all these years. They were always right. You have a digital wallet called Wallet More, and it's a microchip being put in your hand. Wallet More.
IoT, Internet of All Things.
Be where your money is held and stored. You also need a wallet. This will be where your money is held and stored. In our current Web 2 world, data is collected and then sold to advertisers in order to fund websites and applications. But again, this world is changing. In the future world of Web 3, handing over your name, number, date of birth, and other sensitive information in order for a dApp to trust you, that's unnecessary, because the blockchain will already have the built-in trust into the system itself. The idea is that users would reclaim their power and control over their own data. They could possibly move from platform to platform on the internet using a single personalized account, rather than having to log into multiple different accounts for each respective company and platform. And this is what the metaverse is being built for. This is like why you can see right now you can always log.
Meta equals forehead. Meta equals forehead. It went from Facebook to Meta.
Again, with your Apple ID and things like that, they're giving these ways of making your login easier. It's because you're being transitioned into the new system. And here's the thing that you need to understand. In order to transact and to buy and sell, you will have to do it through this system, because this is what the new system will be based upon. People will have one online identity that they're able to use in order to live out their daily lives. And if you are non-compliant or you break laws or anything else, they can simply do what? Lock you out of the system. And that's what they don't tell the people. You have to understand this is a completely new system and a new world that's being created. This does not come about until the chaos. The system is prepared to implement the new changes.
They got to bring chaos in order to bring order.
And the people are ready to adopt it.
This is your Metapon right here. It goes on your forehead. But then they're going to put the chip in you inside your forehead or inside your brain. Most Jakes don't know what's going on. They're concerned about Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. This is going to come as a little sneak attack when they ain't, ready for it. Jake, when they get that, when it's time for them to get that chip, they're going to question it, but they're not going to really understand what it's all about. They're not going to equate it to the scriptures. That when the Bible Belt Edomite, which a lot of them look like Edomites, a lot of them might be Jake, when they say this is the mark of the beast, they're going to demonize him, and they're going to say, I ain't listen to these conspiracy nuts. You're going to find out that GMS was always right.
But for full implementation, there must be enough chaos to support a massive change for the whole world to adopt. Please understand, this is not hypothetical or far out science fiction.
And we've always told you that, right? This is what it said, chaos. Basically, they create enough chaos. They call it the Hegelian dialectic, right? Order out of chaos. The Hegelian dialectic, where they create the problem. Is it problem, reaction, solution? So they create the problem, they do a reaction. The same people that create the problem, they do the reaction to it. They're the ones that, and then they come up with the solution. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. This is what it's all about. That's why we said that, it could be a black swan event. It could be through these wars that we're engaging in, that this whole system will be switched over a night, literally overnight. I'm not saying it will happen, on Sunday, Monday night, but it will happen over a very short period of time. But something chaotic, the collapse of the global economic system, something chaotic is going to take place. All right? Chaos. Basically, order out of chaos.
This technology is already here. They are just waiting to roll it out. They're building the infrastructure now. Let me sum it up how I see the rollout. First, of course, there's war. After this, there will be economic and currency collapse that will throw the whole world into chaos. After countries are destroyed and populations lost because of the war that will ensue, after people die from famine and their new pestilences, after more judgment happens that they will blame on climate.
Jacob's trouble.
this major storm, I believe it's, it's them. I'll just say that.
Jacob's trouble. Because all of these are going to lead us into the war of all wars. See, we can be in wars, but we're not going to be in the war of Armageddon to the point where America goes head to head with Russia. All right? But I said before, there could be, just like you see here, there could be mushroom clouds popping up over, certain place. Could be through a conventional nuke, all right, a tactical nuke, maybe let off in Ukraine, maybe a tactical nuke is let off in Iran or whatever. But these events are what's going to lead us to the war of all wars, the war of Armageddon, when America goes head to head with the Russians. It's as simple as that.
And populations lost because of the war that will ensue after people die from famine and their new pestilences, after more judgment happens that they will blame on climate change, after the world has been completely uprooted, a new world government and a new leader will work with the brightest minds all over the world and bring in a plan of peace and security that will bring the world out of the ashes that it came from, and they will fix the problems that brought the world to that division.
That's what Scripture says. So the devil knows that he has but a short time. This devil knows that he's got a short time. So his plans have been accelerated in what he's planning on doing. We just don't know what major event is he gonna use to bring in this complete new world order system. But these events make you understand the changes that will bring in the mark of the beast, which ultimately is what is the microchip, right? The microchip.
The phoenix that rises out of the ashes will be the new world order, and
that's what's coming. I mean, it's here already. It's just not been fully implemented yet. Because part of the New World Order's fully implementation is the microchip. That's the end game. And it's going to come through chaos, wars, famine, pestilence. So it's going to come in through. They're going to bring the devastation to make it easier.
I believe, and I said this before, that these so-called illegal aliens or whatever, undocumented migrants, that they'll eventually allow, if not all of them, most of them back into work, but they're going to have to get the chip. So they live a better standard of life here in the States. They'll take the chip because these people in Latin America, the Latin American countries with the Israelites, they don't know that they're Israelites, they don't know the scriptures. And with the, like you have Nate bragging that he has all the men, they get together, go to one place and they march, 2,000 men or whatever. You can have them scattered out throughout, the whole planet, so to speak. Because he doesn't care about the Latin tribes, in my opinion.
Yeah, for your average Joe.
That's why you got an internet, The men that came into this thing, and GMS, for example, they got it through the internet. Not because we met them guys and talked to them over the phone. They just, we met a lot of them.
And Jane Doe to accept it. But we've been telling you this. The apostles have been telling you this for over 40 years. I can concur. 40 years they've been speaking on this. Like I said, man, we're just eating off another man's labor. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
The changes implemented will be the Great Reset and the leader that solves the problems.
Great Reset. All right, that's what's coming.
gradual implementation, so people are gradually thrown into it, so you can gradually learn how to use cryptocurrencies, and that so you can gradually learn how to use cryptocurrencies, and they're probably gradually thrown into it online. There will be a gradual be the Antichrist. But before the
he went off on that. There ain't no such thing as a Antichrist. If you don't believe in the Messiah, you say the Messiah is a white man. He came for if you say he came for everybody, you anti-Messiah, Antichrist.
the full system comes online, there will be a gradual implementation, so people are gradually thrown into it, so you can gradually learn how to use cryptocurrencies, and they'll probably use this through the CBDCs and other things. But it's a gradual implementation before the whole system comes online when the new world starts. Understand, the system that will be built will be in the metaverse, and the whole world will be brought online. The whole world will be able to interact with the beast, the Antichrist, in the metaverse. And if you want to be
There's no such thing as an antichrist. The beast system is the image, the image of the beast, which is the system. The beast itself are these EU, NATO nations that make up the beast. But the image of the beast is the system, the whole system that's going to be the backbone, the foundation, the underlining of how everything's going to work.
part of his solution, you will accept his mark. And that will be your...
Which is his chip, you see? That's his mark. Part of his solution, you will accept his mark. See that?
And if you want to be a part of his solution, you will accept his mark. And that will be your only way to buy and sell in the world economy.
That will be your only way to buy or sell in the world economy. 1 second.
I don't know what's going on here.
Can happen right now. You have to understand that these people move through a philosophy of order out of chaos.
See the eagle? Order out of chaos.
Now, you have to understand that these people move through a philosophy of order out of chaos.
That's if I'm not mistaken, that's got to be the Scottish Rite. You got all the symbolisms. Anyway, you got the 33. That's as high as you can go in American Illuminati. And outside of that, you can go up to 97 degrees.
Yes.
Order. Do it again.
Right now. You have to understand that these...
It's the eagle, the 33. That's the Illuminati. Order out of chaos. Alright? So we know the eagle symbolically represents Babylon, Esau in general, because these Edomites have always used the eagle as a signia for for their military, just like the Romans did. And this is why when it speaks about this man in the book of Obadiah, when it speaks about him and it says, thou that exalts thyself as the eagle, thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, says the Lord. So he exalts himself as the eagle. That's his emblem. His signa is the eagle. Order out of chaos.
people move through a philosophy of order out of chaos. And we are at the doors of the chaos. The one thing that you must do is understand how much you have placed yourself into the hands of the system and how conditioned are you to accept where they're taking things. Very much like when they put out the mandates. People were totally opposed to taking that solution.
Right, you even had major Israelite camps that were saying, "Yeah, go on. There's no problem. Go and take the antidote. Go and take the antidote because it's okay." You know, you think about it. You had major Israelite camps back then that was telling you to go and take the antidote. All right, they signed it off. So yeah, it's okay. Go and take it. Will they tell you this? Will they say the same thing to you when it's time to take the chip? When we're at the stage of total chaos, pandemonium, economies have collapsed, famine, pestilence. The new system is being pushed out there, and the only way to navigate through it will be to take the microchip. Are those same major Israelites?
And those people will be desperate to take it. Can't get to no mill, you're going to get evicted. You're going to take your car, you're going to tow your car away because it's not registered. You need money to register your car, and the only money you can use is digital money. And you can only use your chip. So that's when faith is going. That's when we're going to see who's real. That's when you're going to. That's when you're going to realize who are the elect, chosen of the Most High, the men of the Most High. Hey, you even men in GM. It applies to men in GMS. If a lot of you guys are not of the elect, you know you might be in a member of GMS, but you might not be in part of the elect. You're going to go ahead and take it. You might take it behind our back. So we might have scanners out there just to scan to see if you got it. A little joke right there. But I don't know. We might do that shit. Some people, Jake be folding, man. They be folding like, as I say, cheap suits. The old saying is cheap cameras. I say cheap. They gonna fold like a cheap suit.
Like camps that told you that the antidote was all right. You know who they are. I don't need to call them out. You know who they are. Are they gonna tell you the same thing? Because if they are, they're gonna be wrong again, just like how they were wrong before.
Until they tied in a requirement that you can't partake in the system. And then people started conforming and doing things they were initially against. It happens because they were never mentally preparing themselves to bow out and not move with the changes when they came. You need to be mentally prepared.
You need to be mentally, spiritually prepared for what's coming. And we are.
Prepared to disengage and understand what that will look like for you. You need to be mindful of your interaction online and how dependent you are of the internet. This whole topic is very deep, and this was only an introduction.
So, let's just grab a few scriptures, because I wasn't even going to spend long on this. But this man is getting ready. Let's go to Ezekiel 28. This is the book of Ezekiel 28. We start at the top here, right? We'll read a few verses down. The word of the Lord Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, right? Thus says the Lord, power, Yahweh. So who is the prince of Tyrus today? Esau, Edom. Because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. This is what this man is showing you with all of his technology, his AI, especially his AI. I sit on the seat of the Most High in the midst of the seas, the midst of the peoples, yet thou art a man. And this is why this system is gonna collapse, but it has to reach. It has to reach its tuition. It has to reach the point of the chip being global and nuclear missiles being exchanged between Russia and America. It has to reach those two major final points. And not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. And that's what you see through his technology and through his military might and his power that he has, his control. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. So you think about it. The whole idea of this chip coming to bear, the mark of the beast, is so that there will be no secret that anyone can hide from this man. Your every movement, everything that you buy or sell, and your for every movement where you are will be monitored and tracked.
As Alex Jones would say, total control. Total control.
So there will be no secret. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. None. This man is wiser than Daniel because he has the technology. The system is in place. It's just when they decide to flip the switch and collapse it and then power it back up again. It says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten the riches. Right? So these elites are, starting from these Edomites, they are the richest, you know, the secret societies, the Illuminati, the 13 head families, and the majority.
And to back that up with scripture, that's Isaiah 47 verse 10, and read the verses following suit. It tells you how they get their power from the left-hand side. Get this power from the demons. That's what propped them up.
Them are banking family.
Hey, if you notice, I just thought about this. Nero never mentions God. At least I haven't heard him. He doesn't may God watch us and God bless us and so forth. He doesn't say all that. If he did say it, I haven't seen it. He might have said it once 50 years ago. I don't know. Because they're doing their thing. They're not praising. Hey, when Jake wins something, Jake could be wicked as hell. They win a Grammy, they're going to thank the Most High. They're going to thank their moms and shit. You know? Esau don't do that. They don't be, the Oscars and shit, the different award shows that Esau hosts, they don't be thanking the Most High. They don't believe in the Most High.
Please. And also the financial institutions, the hedge funds. This man has gotten him riches and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Thou hast gotten gold and silver in, and we are seeing this, right? We are seeing the price of gold. So gold and silver is now back in the headlines. I mean, we've always known this. The apostles have always known this. They've always said to us about this, you know, gold and silver. I've always known this as well. It's real money. So we've seen that come back into the headlines, the price of gold and silver. Let's see if we can have a quick look. What is gold today? Gold.
$5,000.
Price. Let's have a
hit,
quick look.
5,000 and up.
Let's see what gold is trading at the moment. Whoa. Gee, fuck me. Sorry, excuse my language. I didn't believe it. It's nearly $5,000 an ounce, family.
It hit 5. If you check, it did hit 5. It'll go up and it'll come back down.
$4,960 an ounce. That's beautiful.
2 days ago, I believe it was 4,700.
That's beautiful. Because the higher gold goes, the weaker these currencies become. Closer to the collapse. So probably by the end of this month, gold is going to surpass $5,000 an ounce. I can remember when Max Kaiser and what was her name, Stephanie, his partner, they was always talking about how these banks were suppressing the value of gold by continuously selling people paper, what they call it, paper, forget what they call it, man. They're like paper notes that represents your gold that you were buying from these banks and these security bullions. They call it, there's a particular word they use, they call it paper something, right? Which they give you as a guarantee to say we've got your gold or silver in a vault. It's nearly $5,000 an ounce. 1 second, family. Sorry, I'll let go. It was my son. Didn't have his door keys. Anyway, 4,000. I can't believe that. Nearly 5,000. It's $40 off of $5,000 an ounce. Let's see what silver is. That's gold we're looking at. Silver charts. See what's in dollars, because you get a better idea when it's in dollars. Oh, there you go. It's broke the $100 ceiling. And they were saying that it will break it by the end of the month, right? It's broke it already. $101 an ounce. I've never seen nothing like it.
That's what you call a milestone. That means it'll go up to 110, 115, 120, 130. Then you'll be talking about 200. It'll hit the 200 mark. Gold should be right now. If gold is 5,000, silver should be based upon a ratio, gold silver ratio. Silver should be approximately $250 an ounce. So we're talking 150%. Silver would have to go up 150% to make it $250.
Look, if we look, this is a chart, all right? Let's just go back a year. Look where silver was a year ago.
Probably like $40.
If you bought silver, we're in, what's today's date? Today is the 23rd, right? If you bought silver this exact same day last year, you would have paid $30 an ounce.
And I remember back when it was 30, that was considered high. That's a lot, $30. I remember when silver was $10. It's depending on the silver that you got, $10, $12.
So it's 3.5 times that price. It's tripled. It's $101. It's nearly quadrupled the price. Think about this. Lord, yeah, this place is getting ready to collapse. It's gone up by 232% silver. Oh, I've always known this anyway. And if you had bought gold a year ago, let's go back a year. I just want to see what it said a year ago. If you had bought gold, whoops. If you had bought gold a year ago,
it was probably somewhere around 2000.
where are we? See, you'd have paid 2,000, that's pounds. Let's get it into dollars. So you would have paid just over 2,500, yeah, $2,700 an ounce. So that's increased by.
I told a guy that owned a silver and gold business, and this was back in 2005, maybe something like that. It was long before 2010, years before 2010. I said gold is going to hit 1,000, and then I said it was, I believe, 800 at the time, and then I said eventually it's going to hit 2,000, and the guy told me, "Y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about." Then about 6 months later, so 9 months later, came out there and he saw my face. He said, "You were right." And this guy knows he had a silver business. He said, "I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about." And I told the other guy the same thing. I said, "Look, shit's going." "No, it's not." I said, "Okay, all right." I said, "That's what you said the last time. It wasn't going to go up at that high." I told him years ago they were going to go up to 100, and that's just the beginning. Right, or is gold. Oro in Spanish. That's how you say gold. And I believe Argenta is silver. Argentina, the country Argentina, it means silver.
80%, nearly 100%, so it's nearly doubled in price within a year. Yep, it's getting ready to collapse. These are the signs of the times. Absolutely, brother. Gold and silver is the Most High's money. Humble 7 007. That's the Most High's money. Gold and silver. It's getting ready. So when we go back to Ezekiel, it says here, "With wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures." Because that's what these banking families, these elites are sitting on. They are sitting on real money. These people that control these financial systems, these elites, the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, they're sitting on gold and silver. Believe me when I tell you. Yeah, it's getting ready to collapse. "By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches," right? "And thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches." So, their great wisdom and their traffic, I always say, is their stock market. That's their witchcraft. The stock market is the greatest bit of witchcraft this devil ever created. That's what they are using. "Therefore, thus says the Lord God, Yahweh, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High," which is what this man has done, and you can see it more and more with this technology he's got. And this is why I'm saying that we have the understanding, truly understanding how close we are to this change that's going to bring in the market.
Oh yeah, we're extremely close. Anyway, with that, I urge you to watch the rest of this video. With that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next. Shalom.